Hello, my name is Anthony Mongiello. I'm going to step you through another Photoshop of a different girl. Hopefully it won't take too long. Not going to try and do too much. I hope not. But, alright, so the first thing we're going to do is duplicate this background layer. You can just drag it down here to the new layer, and it duplicates an exact copy of it. After we do that, I also just go ahead and just make a new layer all by itself and put that to soft light. That's going to be my dodge and burn layer. There's different ways to dodge and burn. I just do that because I can always manipulate it, and I always go back to my layers and keep on manipulating and manipulating back and forth. You know, I undo and redo and stuff like that. So this allows me to do that over and over and over again, and I never, you know, for the whole time that I edit the image, or later when I open up later, I can re-dodge and burn if I don't like something that I've dodged and burned. Okay. I'll show you how to dodge and burn in that, I guess, again later, but I'm just basically going to guide you through my processes, what I do when I retouch a thing. And so the first thing I'm looking at in this image that I see is it could be more punchy. She has very flat skin tones, and well, just flat. The image, I'm pretty sure we could spruce it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new layer. Do this by going layer, new adjustment layer, and curves. And you can name it whatever you want. I'm just going to leave it at curves 1. It's not really that important, the name. The first thing I always check to see what Photoshop says to do, which just by pushing the auto button, they will basically clip off all the parts of these channels, red, green, and blue, where there is seemingly no data in the channel, and that will give it like a harder, well, basically it kind of just gives it more color. I mean, we can switch back and forth by pressing this button right here. Switching back and forth to see. And I mean, obviously the darker parts of the image go to a full black, and then the lighter part of the image they're kind of staying the same because they were kind of unaffected with the auto adjustment. So I'm just going to switch back by pressing this button to what we had before, and I'm going to see what just doing a regular S curve will do, which means putting this part of the graph up and putting this part of the graph down. And already, I mean, you can see that makes a more punchy, cooler looking image. Obviously, just right off the bat, it kind of just has more of a what you're used to seeing in professional imagery. You know, just neat highlights and rich mid-tones rather than, you know, flat gray tones. And well, I mean, depending on the picture, but for this type of picture, that's what you probably used to seeing maybe in Victoria's Secrets magazine or something like that. So you can just play around with these and just see where you like the image, you know, what you want it to look like, what do you want, you know, everything to the colors and stuff, basically how you want them. So here I'm just messing around with it until I see what I like, which is about right there. And then I'm just gonna click on history to see my history, things I've already done to this this thing, which is I was just working on it before I started this tutorial just to see what I could do. One of the things I was doing was merging two layers beforehand. I meant to undo everything, but a little bit ghost of it has already left in, so I'm just going to delete that by using this tool, going on this copy here, and I just use the patch tool to just smooth out some lines that were left by an earlier adjustment that I didn't undo. They were kind of bugging me, and it showed when I put on the curves layer. Yeah, I mean, it's still bugging me. So you can see it's kind of lighter right here where I didn't quite make a full adjustment before. So I'm gonna undo that and make it smooth again. All right, so now that's fixed. All right, so I got a curves layer. What are the other things I can do? One thing, you know, this is gonna be a really simple adjustment, actually. I'm just gonna dodge and burn after that. I'm gonna go ahead and go into this level, and the way, this layer, the way that I dodge and burn is I just paint black and white onto the existing thing, and I'm just gonna paint black. Oh, you know what? This girl is extremely attractive, but you know what you can do to improve it beforehand is like her arm, a little tiny misshapen, just a little bit. So I'm just gonna circle a certain part and go back to this background copy that I'm making all my adjustments on. Do filter, liquify. And we're just gonna go ahead and straighten her out, her arm here. Now, you notice I picked right on the corner here of where her bra was, because if I start straightening out where, not where the bra and the arm intersects, and I don't follow that line, it's gonna look funny. I mean, I'll show you. I'll do it right here. Boom. So it doesn't really look funny there. But if you, let's say we use a smaller one, and I was really dumb about it, and I try to move this in here, and I try to move this in here, and I follow the line here. You know, I'm zooming in here so you can see better. You know, you just get problems around these lines, and you just want to, you know, follow them and follow the line. Or let's say I was trying to go this way. Obviously, that's not going to work. So let me just go back to where it was looking good. Zoom out so I can see the whole thing, what I'm working with. We want to use a bigger brush, or else we'll have to make too many indents, and it could distort our arm the way it looks. All right. So once we have her arm exactly the shape that we want it to be, and I am a sucker for skinny arms on girls. So, you know, I always go a little bit overboard, which is I don't really care about. I want the picture to look how I want it to look. That's good, and we'll go ahead and just tuck in her rib cage, kind of stick out just a little bit, make her look like she has a really tight stomach. And we can probably do an adjustment on her arm and her side, just a little bit. Kind of tuck it in just a teeny bit. And right here, you know, if I use this big brush, I'm not gonna be able to straighten this out here, so we'll go to a smaller brush. And we can make this line kind of straighter here, so it doesn't look like her stomach muscles stick out farther than her oblique muscles. This would be her oblique muscles. These are her stomach muscles. You know, you can play with stuff, kind of shift things around. You know how you want them. Right here, you can tell that she has a little bit of padding on her bra, which she doesn't really need. So I'm just gonna poke the padding part in and try and make it look a little bit more like a teardrop breast. I'll make a perfect line here. This is a fun tool to use. You can just kind of make everything perfected. There's a little bump here that needs a smaller push brush to move around to make it smoother. I have a twist on her thing here that kind of sucks, but there's, you know, I don't want to Photoshop that out. It's not that big of a deal. All right, looking at her breast, I don't know if I did that but you know, that doesn't quite look quite right to me. All right, so got a nice even shape there. Let's kind of straighten that out. Oh, here's her back arm. I'm gonna make it perfectly straight, like a super tone. Okay, this part of her body looks good to me. It's perfect. We're just gonna push OK. After we liquefied all that, it's gonna return the result, show us what we did. We just thinned her arms and this part of her belly.